Hi everyone, I'm Dihua, and today I've got a very interesting product for you, and that is the Cyplus Cube Mini Bicycle Pump. Now, Cyplus is a Chinese cycling tech company that produces a range of products ranging from indoor trainer, bicycle computer, and electric bicycle pumps. Now, electrical pump is not something new. In fact, the market is flooded with it. But what makes the Cyplus Cube so interesting is the compact size. It is ultra compact. It's smaller than this. I'm going to show you. Okay, so this is what we've got inside the box. We have the user manual, the pump unit itself, and this is an extra rubber seal. This is to adapt for shredder valve or pressure valve. And if you were to use for shredder valve, you need to use with this pin. We have a USB-C charging cable and a silicone case. The dimension of the Cyplus Cube is 65 by 46.5 by 28 mm, and it weighs 97 grams. And the charging mode is using Type-C cable. According to the guided chart from Cyplus, for 725c tires, to pump it up to 60 psi, it requires 50 to 60 seconds, and you can pump 4 tires. To pump it up to 80 psi, it requires 80 to 90 seconds, and you can pump for 2 tires. To pump it up to 100 psi, it requires 150 to 160 seconds, and you can only use it once. As for 728c tire, to pump it to 70 psi, it requires 70 to 80 seconds, and you can inflate 3 tires. To pump up a 28c tire to 80 psi, it requires 150 seconds, and you can only use it once. The maximum inflation time per charge is 200 seconds, and the maximum tire pressure that it can pump up to is 100 psi. Now, looking at this is a really sleek design and really compact. It only comes with one single button on top here, and you can use it for on and off as well as to activate the pump. The charging port is here by the side, and the air outlet is at the bottom. The Cyplus Cube comes set up for Presta tire valve, and if you were to use with a shredder valve, you need to first change the adapter. I'm going to show you. It's very simple. Just unscrew the cap, remove the rubber seal, just flip it over, press it back, insert the adapter pin, close it, and you're set up for shredder valve. I'm going to demonstrate to you how to pump your bicycle tire with this. So according to Cyplus, for 28c tire, to pump up to 70 psi, it can be used for 3 times per charge. So let's see if it can do that. Okay, so we're pumped for 1 minute 11 seconds, so it's approximately 70 seconds. The pump feels a little warm. It's not entirely hot, but it's just a little warm. But do take note that the valve nozzle here is very hot. Let it cool down a little bit before you try to turn it and lock the valve. Let's measure what is the actual pressure. It's slightly below 60, so around 58 to 59. Since it's a little bit warm right now, I'm going to put in the silicone case. So now I understand that this is not just to protect the surface from being scratched, but it has also a practical use, which is when this pump gets too warm or too hot, you have a sleeve to protect your hand. Second time, and this time we're going to pump it up to 80 seconds. So now it shows yellow light, which means the battery level is 50 to 80%. So I've pumped it up for 1 minute 20 seconds, that is 80 seconds. And now with the silicone case, it doesn't feel so hot, it's just warm. It reads 60 psi. Okay, so the first try we pump it for 70 seconds, and the second try we pump it for 80 seconds, and now technically we have only left about 50 seconds of usage, okay, by the guideline. But well, let's see if we can successfully pump the third time. If not, where will it stop? Oh, okay, so the third attempt, it lasted for about 1 minute, which is about 60 seconds. So in total, we get about 210 seconds of pumping out of one charge. Now it's the third attempt. I'm going to try to pump it for 80 seconds again and see what is the tire pressure. Okay, so I pump it for 1 minute 20. That is 80 seconds. Now let's check again what is the pressure. It's 60 psi. I have got the SidePlus all charged up again, and I'm going to do one final test, and that is to pump it until it's flat to see what is the pressure that it can give my 700 by 28C tire. Now it's almost 170 seconds. Oh, okay, so the pump roughly stopped at 2 minutes 50 seconds. Wow, that is actually 85 psi. Okay, so that is just a very simple experiment that we do here. I'm just using what I can get my hands on, and I've decided to use the pressure gauge from the hand pump that I have here. And since we are using this hand pump, I have to cater for some loss of pressure when I actually put this to the test, because when I insert this into the air valve to get the pressure measurement, some air will have been lost, and at the same time we also have to cater that some air has to go in here, and so it kind of affects the actual reading. By my estimate, I will just add another 2 or 3 psi back into the reading. So with that said, the first round that we pump for 70 seconds, the adjusted pressure would be 61 psi, and for the second round, when we pump for 80 seconds, the adjusted pressure will be 63 psi. And also for the third one, the adjusted pressure will also be 63 psi. For the final time, we tested for 170 seconds of pumping from the battery full to a flat battery. The adjusted pressure will be 88 psi. Even after adjustment, the numbers are not quite the same as what was given on the website by SidePlus, but through this experiment, at least I know that for a full charge, I can attain a 85 to 88 psi maximum for one tire for my 700 by 28C tire. If I pump it for 90 to 100 seconds, it should give me 70 psi on each of the tire. I noticed that the initial part of the pumping actually takes less effort, and as it goes to higher pressure, it kind of becomes more straining. It kind of takes a lot more effort, a lot more power to pump it up from, say, from 70 psi onwards. So if you are just pumping to 70 psi, I think it's sufficient to last for 2 tires safely. Right, so after testing it, I can tell you there's actually a few things I really liked about this SidePlus Cube. And number one is the size, how compact it is. I put it on my palm and it's smaller than the size of my palm, so it makes it very, very portable. You can actually slip it into your jersey pocket or even slip it into your saddle bag. If I can give you a comparison, this is smaller than 2 of this CO2 cartridge put together. Okay, it actually occupies less space. And if we were to compare it to hand pumps, like I've got 2 here, you can see for yourself. I don't think I need to explain further which one is smaller. And if we look at the weight, the SidePlus weighs 98 grams in actual reading. For 2 CO2 cartridge. It weighs 122 grams. And if we add in the CO2 inflator, it is 145 grams. And we look at the weight of the hand pump, 145 grams. The lighter one, 133 grams. So in terms of the size and weight, Cyplus is definitely the smallest, most compact and lightest. The ease of use is what I really appreciate this Cyplus Cube. In the past, we have to use hand pumps. You have to plug it into your road bike or your mountain bike and then you start pumping. And in order for you to fill the tire up to 80 psi, well, maybe just even 60 psi, it's going to take a lot of repetition, and there is a lot of effort. You can just do a full workout just by pumping one tire. Okay, so this is definitely very tiring, very energy consuming, versus the Cyplus. And what you've seen I've done earlier, just push it in and press a button, it will do the work by itself. CO2 cartridge is also very easy to use. What you need to do is just twist the cartridge inside and start filling the tire. However, the CO2 inflator has got an adjustable knob, most of them. So when it comes to controlling how much air goes into the tire and gauging what is the pressure, air pressure inside the tube, is a bit more difficult to do so when using the CO2. Reason being is that on the Cyplus, by what we have done earlier, I can calculate like 80 or 90 seconds, I would probably get 70 to 75 psi. But on the CO2 cartridge, because this is adjustable, so it is really difficult to know how much air has already gone into the tire. Unless you are very experienced in using this and you know by your experience how much or how long is sufficient for your tire. And by the way, CO2 has a higher tendency to leak. So this is really for emergency use. Before your next ride, you have to always remember to pump up your tire. While so far, I find that the Cyplus is so handy and so easy to use. However, it's limited to the number of times that you can use it per charge. So I can only use it a maximum 2 times or 3 times if I'm pumping at a lower pressure for my tire. While something like this will not have that restriction, you can use it, just keep using it and you don't need to recharge or refill it. Okay, and you have to keep remembering to recharge this before your ride. But thankfully, it only takes about 20 minutes for a full charge. And also, this does not come with a pressure gauge. I can understand why, because they actually want to keep the design as compact as possible. And once you put in a pressure gauge, be it an analog one or a digital form, it is going to make it a lot bigger. When we are comparing it to, like, for example, using a CO2 cartridge, it is the same. Most of these CO2 inflators don't come with pressure gauge. So yeah, to me, it is not really a big loss. And the fact that they have mitigated it by giving you quite a consistent timing, for example, 10 or 15 seconds per 10 psi, that is really good because that helps me to gauge the pressure. And finally, it does come with a big price tag for something so sleek and compact, so good to use. It is selling at 89 USD, and in Singapore is selling around 110 Singapore dollars. So if we compare the price, it is a lot more expensive than a hand pump or even CO2 canisters. The Cyplus is roughly the price of 70 CO2 canisters, which means if you were to use CO2 canister, you can have 70 usages, but Cyplus, for the same price, you can get 200 usages. And that doesn't mean that it died after 200 times, but it's just that it reduced its efficiency by 10%. You can still continue to use that, but at a lower efficiency. But the question is, how often do I really get a flat tire? I mean, out of a year, maybe once or twice. Now, if you get 5 or more times, you're really unlucky. And so yeah, I mean, that it comes to the question of how well I'm going to utilize this. So, well, unless in a group ride setting and I'm going to help out with other people who has a flat tire, I can lend them this to use, yeah, then that will make it more utilized. But other than that, I think most of the time it's going to just sit in the saddlebag, yeah, and really waiting for the emergency case to save my ass. So what I want to say is that this really has got a lot of awesome features. It's so small, so easy to use. If we look at the price and we look at it as merely just a palm, then the price may sound a little bit more expensive. However, if you talk about waist shaving, we managed to shave off 50 grams as compared to using 2 CO2 cartridges. And that is a very, very big shaving of weight for those who cares. All right. And well, there's really nothing much that I don't like about this, except the price is a little bit expensive. But don't worry, we got you a 5% discount. Right, check out the description. And you know what? Christmas is around the corner, and if you are still hunting for that perfect gift for that cycling friend, then this Cycplus Cube will make the perfect option, because this will make them jump in joy. Right, so hope you liked the review today. If I missed out anything and that you would like to know, do let me know in the comment box below. I'll try to find out for you. All right, and see you next time.